Here with Rodger Grace. He is the owner, one of the owners of Holiday Inn Grace, which is a large 40-year-old roofing contractor in Colorado Springs, probably the largest of its type in the area. And so today, a couple days ago was the closing, and today we're receiving the funds. He's receiving his funds. So talk a little bit about the process. So how did this work for you, Rodger?
Well, it worked far beyond my expectations, and as you know, Paul, we had originally signed on with another business broker a couple of years back, and it was with a reputable company who was well known as a business broker, but over a period of time we really received very little interest in our business, and even the listed price of the business seemed low to my partner and I. And we gave that a shot for a while, and then we gave that up. He didn't really bring any truly qualified buyers. We got a lot of lookers and people who didn't seem totally serious about acquiring our company. And then, as you may recall, you had actually telephoned me, I think it was three or 4 years ago. And we just talked briefly on the phone. You said you were a business broker and wondering if we were interested in selling our business. At that time, we really weren't, but you kept contacting me about once a year. And finally, after we had no good luck with our first broker, we thought of you and contacted you, and I think it was a matter of just 2 or 3 days. You were down in our office and looking over the operation and looking at the books and finding out more about our business and how long we've been in business, what our numbers were, our profit margins, and those sorts of things. And at that point, I was really impressed that you had a good handle on business. And your promises were brash, but I have to admit they solidified. And I think it was within 2 weeks of our original meeting, you had put together a packet, and most importantly, had put together a video, which are
about an hour long, hour and 15 minutes long.
Yes, and I didn't realize what a powerful tool that would be. Our previous broker did not do that, and he seemed knowledgeable, but didn't really have the fire to go out and look for competent buyers.
And I already had the buyers. I represented to you that I had 10,000 buyers in a database that I can immediately turn to the day after I secure your information and identify a subset of that population, people that are looking for a large roofing contractor. I mean, you're an $11, $12 million a year company.
Yes.
So I was able to get that information right to those people, and immediately within 2-3 weeks we had letters of intent coming.
Yeah, absolutely. We had letters of intent from 10 or 11 people, and the thing that impressed me
full price.
most, full price. Every one of the letters of intent represented an initial full price offering, and just to make it clear, that's what we ended up selling for, was our full price, which happened to be $1.5 million higher than what the previous business broker had told us we were worth.
And you kept a lot of the receivables,
Yes.
just having your cake and eat it too. In other words, you kept all your cash, which was a lot of cash, and the receivables, you gave some away to leave them some working capital, but you kept an enormous amount of the working capital that marches in the door in the coming weeks. And so that's also neat. And again, the buyer had a very short period of time in which to do a letter of intent and then to close and transfer the money. If they couldn't do it in 30, 35 days, we had buyers calling you, calling me, banging on our door, telling them to make a decision or get out of the way.
Yes, we really did. We had 3 in particular that come to mind, and even though it got to the point where they knew we were in exclusive negotiations with the person that we decided to run with, they were not dissuaded by any means in their interest in our company should anything fall through, or if the sale did not work out as we had expected. And that was the most impressive thing to me, is the number of qualified buyers that you brought to our door within a matter of a week and a half, 2 weeks.
10, 12 people, all of them good,
Yes.
None of them kind of goofy in any way, or
all of them were legitimate buyers who were keenly interested in our company. And
oddly, the first one you met, the first frog you kissed, turned out to be your prince.
Yes,
You know,
he did.
you know, in the end, you know, you met many since
true.
You first met him at many, many meetings. Again, with terms of the term, you are carrying some of the paper, which no seller wants to do, but do you feel you're secure and
yes.
you're assigned by a very high net worth person with a first position and a personal guarantee?
Yes, that's true, and we acquired the large bulk of our asking price up front, and the deal was very acceptable to my partner and myself, and the buyers, we feel, since this was operated as a family business for so many years.
40 years. 40
yeah,
years.
Yeah. And we felt an affinity towards the buyer, who was a father and a very successful business person, and he was essentially buying it for one of his sons to learn a good business and make a mark for himself in the roofing industry. And both the father and the son are very very well versed in business, and I think with a little experience and our staff was maintained as well, which was very important to us.
And what's paramount is during this whole process, 85 days, nobody breached confidentiality, nobody called the office, nobody knew anything was going on until after the close, and they still don't know really.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, this
don't
really,
know all the particulars.
we're in the hush-hush cloak and dagger business of
right.
selling businesses, and so to keep this, a business of this size with this kind of buyer interest, to keep this quiet and to keep it tight between buyer, seller, and broker is a small accomplishment.
Yes, the confidentiality was never breached, and that was important to us. Our staff has been with us many years, and they're all terrific people, and the buyer got a tremendous staff as he acquired our business, and that was important to us, and that was high on his list as well. So we felt good about the sale in that respect. And gosh, the negotiations, we had never experienced the amount of due diligence that we experienced with this buyer. So it was something new to us, and we learned a lot. But you were always by our side, and it was evident that this was not your first ball game, by some of the advice that you gave us during the process. And
never felt abandoned. Always answered the phone calls.
No, you were always available, and you were always on our side as the negotiations became more detailed. Your experience and expertise became more visible, as you had been through certain things before that were essentially a new experience for my partner and I, and that was a big help. In fact, we have an excellent attorney that we've had for several years, and he worked with us through this process. But I remember one particular incident that you were able to give us some advice that even impressed our attorney, and it would have been something that I wouldn't have ever realized that was appropriate in the sale of a business setting. But as I mentioned, it was a new experience for us, and your knowledge and experience came into play, and were very, very helpful.
So no seller's remorse. You feel like you've met the market. You didn't just grab the first date to the prom. You met a broad segment of people.
We had a good choice of people we could have run with, and I think culminated the deal with one of 4 or 5 qualified buyers. But this particular buyer, they struck us when we first met. They were good people, and we liked their attitude on keeping staff and just building on what we have built over the last 40 years. And we hope that they are so successful with this business that the business may double or triple or quadruple in the next 5 years or so. They're very impressive, and their backgrounds lend themselves to a business.
Okay. And coincidentally, talk about timing. It's a Friday afternoon around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and you're expecting a wire in excess of well over $1 million. Chad, your partner, he's expecting a wire of well over $1 million. I've got a piece coming too, so we're sitting here real excited to have a good happy hour tonight, and a nice steak dinner someplace. It's kind of funny.
That's right.
I'm wearing a pink shirt, but no coincidence at all. You know, the Pink Panthers. What's that all about? You know.
Yeah.
You're wearing
Seems
pink.
like it was staged. So
it wasn't staged. Big
no, it
coincidence.
wasn't.
But so I had to make fun by bringing, you know, having him in the picture. The Pink Panther represents, what does it represent?
Yeah, Owens Corning, one of the largest roofing shingle manufacturers in the world.
Yeah.
It's been their mascot for many years.
And you're a key as a key supplier of yours.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the kind
you bet,
words.
Paul. We appreciate all your help.
The biggest check of our lives. So
you led us to believe that we could expect good things from you, and you didn't let us down.
Okay.
You truly produced, and we were very impressed.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's very grateful for the kind words, and a very kind thing for you to do. And I hopefully this video testimonial will help me in securing another roofing or exteriors roofing contractor in the state of Colorado. So
yeah. Well, you certainly impressed us, and if I can ever be of help in terms of a reference, just let me know. I'm happy to do it.
Well, thank you so much for the endorsement. Okay, I'm grateful. Okay.